I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I don't have a ton of stuff this week. We actually kind of got hit with a blizzard in North Dakota, and it kind of hit more so, or worse, I guess I would say, on the eastern side of the state, and they had to shut down the interstate and stuff like that. We haven't had like post office mail in 3 days. So some of the stuff that I had ordered has gotten hung up. But let me go ahead and start off with the eyeshadow palette that I have on my eyes today, and that is from Menagerie Cosmetics. I was trying to catch this back in stock so many times and I kept missing out, and then I finally hit it when it came back in stock. And it's the Whale Song eyeshadow palette. This is an indie brand, and I have a couple other eyeshadow palettes from them as well, and I really enjoy them. And they also just came out with one, and I can't remember the official name of it, but it has lions on the cover of it, and I bought that one on pre-order. But something that I really like about their stuff, for one, their eyeshadows are super pigmented and really, really pretty, but they have got like really beautiful animal themes on all of their packaging. Their outside kind of packaging is just really plain. Imagery is on the actual packaging itself, and this one has got some humpback whales on it, which I love whales. Who doesn't love whales, right? So there are 12 eyeshadows in here, and there's a ton of product that you get in here. There's a total of 24 grams of product, so each eyeshadow is 2 grams a piece, which is a lot. So this is what I have on my eyes today. And another thing is their shadows are magnetized inside the palette, so if you want to remove them and put them in kind of a freestanding magnetic palette or mesh them with other shadows, you can do that. And you have got, in this guy, you've got 4 shimmers, which are these 2 shades right here, and then these 2 down here. And I have got these 2 and this guy on the lid today. And then through the crease, I've got the shade Bubble Net, and then I blended out with the shade Plankton. And I did bring in Wet n Wild's Brulee for underneath the brow, for a matte brow bone highlight. So let me go ahead and give you guys some swatches of these. This shimmery green is so pretty. And then these next 3. Look at that blue. It's crazy. These are all mattes, these 3. And then these guys. That's some crazy pigmentation, right? And then these last 3. Look at how pretty those are. So that's from Menagerie Cosmetics right there, and again, their packaging is just really pretty. And then next up, I purchased the Radioactive collection from Melt Cosmetics, and I purchased the bundle where it kind of came in their PR style box packaging, which was really pretty. One of my products came like completely shattered, so I did email them a picture, and they went ahead and they sent me one that wasn't broken like right away. And I got the bundle because I wanted the 2, at first I thought they were eyeshadows, but they're actually like marketed as face products. I wanted those 2 compacts, and then I wanted the eyeshadow palette, and it was only a few more dollars to get the 2 lipsticks as well. They are liquid lipsticks, which I don't wear too often, but the colors are very intense. So the eyeshadow palette comes in this really pretty cardboard packaging. The total amount of product in here is 14.67 grams or 0.517 ounces of product, and there are 8 eyeshadows in here. They are all pretty vibrant shades with the exception of like these 2 right here. And I initially thought that these were going to be like straight up matte eyeshadows, but there's only one true matte shade, and that's the shade Meltdown. These other shades have got some really, really fine little sparkles or something to them, but they feel like mattes, but they're not a true matte eyeshadow. The formula of these is really kind of thick and crumbly, but extremely pigmented, so they are a little bit something to work with. I kind of find that with male eyeshadows, they can get a little messy, a little bit much to work with, but they have really, really intense pigmentation to them. I mean, I think the palette is really pretty, but you have to work with some of those shades. So let me give you some swatches here. It's just a really thick kind of crumbly, drier formula, I guess. But they do have wicked pigmentation. And I kind of find that with some of the vibrant shades I purchased in their stacks as well are like that. Then these next 4 shades. You can kind of see with the drop down the kind of crumbliness of the formula. But I am happy that none of my shades are poofing out of the pans, or none of them came broken in the palette either, which are both things that have happened with melt palettes for me in the past. So the fact that they're still in nice condition in the pan is good. This was kind of one of my favorite shades in the palette, and you can kind of see it's a little lackluster. And then the collection came with these radioactive blush lights is what they're calling them. You've got ultraviolet, which is the purpley pink one, and then gamma ray, which is the orange ones. It says on the back that you can apply them on the face and around the eyes as desired. And when I originally bought them, I did think that they were eyeshadows, but they are also meant to be used kind of on the cheeks. They're called like a blush light. So for the face, again with these, the formulation of them is quite thick, a little bit crumbly, and extremely pigmented. So if you want to use this on your face, go in with a really fluffy brush to try to do a light dusting, because it can get a bit much real quickly. As eyeshadows, again, they go on pretty pigmented, but they do have a more crumbly, thicker texture to them. So I'm going to swatch them kind of. You can kind of see it there, how it just kind of crumbles a little bit. And then I'm going to go like this. My fingers are kind of stained from some of those blue shades there. So I mean, for a blush, you can see just how intensely pigmented that is, and that you can see the crumbliness too. Let me kind of blend this guy out so you can kind of see what it would look like on the cheeks right there. But they are something to work with for face products for sure. So that one is the one in gamma ray right there. And then here is the one in ultraviolet right here. And there's a total of 0.28 ounces of product in here. So let's swatch these guys. Oh, I'll get this one too. I think I got some cat hair on my finger, but see, I mean, those look like kind of straight up eyeshadows right there, but. And then I'm going to go ahead and swatch the radioactive liquid lipsticks as well. So this first shade is in the shade Superheat. This is what their packaging looks like. I'll probably pass these on just because I'm not the biggest fan of liquid lipsticks, but it's a pretty intense hot pink shade, magenta hot pink, I guess I would call it. So that is the shade Supernatural. And then the other shade is called Atomic. And this one is like a fuchsia purple color right here. So that one is called Atomic right there. And again, those are from the Melt Radioactive collection. And then when I was in Ulta, they had 50% off of the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. And I think it's because they came out with another version. I'm not 100% sure, but I really enjoy the Perfect Setting Powder. I've been through, I think it's 2 full-size containers of this in the past. I ran out of the one that I was using probably a couple months ago, but I just really enjoy the powder, and it was 50% off. So I went ahead and I purchased another one of these, and I believe it comes in a few shades. I got the shade Translucent Light. And then they also had this palette from Colourpop, which I think is an Ulta exclusive. I'm not 100% sure, but it's called the Truly Madly Deeply palette. This is what the outside box packaging looks like. There's 12 eyeshadows in here, 0.03 ounces per shade, and it comes in the cardboard style packaging. This one has got 16 shades. 3 of these shades are those pressed glitters, which I'm not I'm not crazy about those because they're really hard to use. I end up with more glitter on my face than anything. I much prefer using kind of those liquid glitters that come in the tubes as opposed to pressed glitters and palettes. I just need you guys to stop doing that. But otherwise, there's some really pretty shimmers in here and some really pretty mattes. The darkest shade in here, it's got a matte base, but it has really, really fine micro shimmer glitters shot through it, but it is that matte base eyeshadow. But otherwise, everything else in here is pretty light. So that is something to make note of. I got my lovely matte brow bone highlight up there in the corner though. And again, this is the Truly Madly Deeply palette from Colourpop. So there are the first four, and then these next four. This one is a glitter, and this one is a glitter. And the next four, here is the other glitter. And then these last four. And these are also magnetized in the palette, so I love that feature as well. My fingertips are kind of getting stained from some of those really intense shadows I swatched earlier. But that one right there is the Truly Madly Deeply palette from Colourpop. And again, I got this at Ulta. I should have swatched that palette last because now I have flecks of glitter all over my arm that I'm having a hard time getting off. I also wanted to mention that these shadows in the Radioactive palette are also magnetized in the palette. Again, love that feature. Again, from Ulta, I picked up the Pierre and Barbie collaboration palette. It's called Endless Possibilities. There's a total 0.55 ounces of product in here, and I thought the packaging on this was really pretty. There are some really pretty shades in here as well, but there's some that are could have used a little bit more vamping up, I guess. But this is what the outside packaging looks like. It's a hard plastic with like gemstones glued into the lid, and there's a big mirror, and then here are your shadows. There's one pressed glitter, which is this one down in the corner, and then two mattes, which are these two right here, this kind of mid-tone brown and the dark brown. Everything else has a shimmer, a sparkle, or a sheen to it. This is the shade I was hoping would have came off a little bit more shiny than it did when I had used it, and I kind of had to pack it on to get that shine. This color here is really, really pretty. It almost feels like a cream texture. So there are the first four, and then these next four. That one shade there was really gritty. I'm going to show you guys which one it was. This shade right here kind of feels a little bit gritty, but it's got pretty good pigmentation there. And then here is that pressed glitter shade. Again, I'm not crazy about these pressed glitters that palettes are doing. Every once in a while, there's a really good one in a palette, but there's more not so great ones than there are good ones. So there are the swatches for the Pierre and Barbie Endless Possibilities. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Endless Possibilities eyeshadow palette right there. I did purchase one of the Too Faced holiday sets. I got this at Ulta as well. It's the Let It Snow Girl limited edition makeup collection. This is what the box packaging looks like. It was kind of tiered to look like a snowman. And then there's a deluxe size sample of the Better Than Sex mascara in there with like the candy cane on it. This mascara does a nice job with the effect on the lashes, but the biggest problem that I have with this is it flakes on me. Every time I try it, it flakes on me, and it's in a lot of their sets. Their newest one, I think it's called Damn Girl, does not do that, so that's good. So inside there are 3 palettes, and they're kind of tiered to look like a snow woman. Not a snowman, right? A snow woman. And then there are some magnets in there that kind of hold the palettes together, but they are relatively weak magnets, so they do slide around. They're not, I feel like the magnets aren't strong enough, which I wish they were, so that they held all the palettes together when they're like this. But I do like the fact that they compress and it's not such a like large bulky palette. The eyeshadow palette, each eyeshadow, there's 19 shades, so there's quite a few shades, but each eyeshadow is only 0.015 ounces per shade, which is an extremely small amount of eyeshadow that you're getting. And something that I found interesting is this is one of the very, very few holiday sets that Too Faced has done this year that was bulk made in USA, assembled in Dominican Republic. All the other sets are made in China. So usually Sephora's is made in the USA, but this year it was also made in China. So I kind of think that this is going to be the only set like this that I'm going to pick up. So let me get into these products. This is the first one, and it's a little highlighter and bronzer duo. Here's your Chocolate Soleil bronzers on this side, and this does smell like kind of like a spicier cocoa type of smell. And then there's the highlighter. The highlighter was a little weak for my tasting, and also it's a little bit too dark for my skin tone. It kind of casts a shadow in that area when it's not on the light, so it's not exactly right for my skin tone. And it's a little bit more subtle than I like, but the bronzer, I always get along with the Too Faced chocolate bronzers. And that is a matte, the bronzer there. And that one is in her little head there. Another thing to make note of as well is, while the packaging is super cute and stuff like that, it feels really cheap. It feels like a really lightweight, cheap kind of cardboard. And then here is the belly portion. I really like the cheek products in the belly portion of the palette. These are all blushes. There's 3 mattes, which are these guys right here, and then a really pretty pink shimmer, which I really like. The little blush palette. I think that the quality of the shades are really nice. So those are the blushes that are in the belly. And then lastly, here is the bottom portion of the palette that contains the 19 eyeshadows. There are some really pretty eyeshadows in here. I've got some really nice looks out of the shades. There's one pressed glitter, which I have not used, but these are all of the shades. And again, there is not a lot of product in here. I'm probably swatching away half the pan right now. But other than that, there's a good array of mattes and shimmers. And I found the quality of the shadows to be pretty nice as well. Going to try not to miss any with the layout here, but we'll just go around the outer portion first. These also kind of have that spicy vanilla scent to them. And then these 4. And then here is that pressed glitter shade. And these shades are not really anything new to Too Faced either, just to make mention. And then these last 3. You can see that some of those shades are, you know, pretty nice, pretty nicely pigmented. So there are the 19 shades from the eyeshadow palette right there. And then lastly here, I wanted to show you guys the 2 latest brushes that Rephr sent me. This is the brand right here. They make some really, really nice quality brushes. So they came out with a large kind of powder brush, very soft, natural bristle brush. This is the first one that I got like this. It has the gold ferrule, which I think is it kind of gives me like Tom Ford brush feels. So this is the P22 brush. And this one is good for like all over dusting of powder, or like it's something that I would put in my Guerlain Meteorites to buff all over the skin. They have got a really soft feel to them, but they're still structured enough to pick up and move product nicely on the skin while still remaining nice and soft. So this one is the P22. It's got a good size to it. It'd be good for kind of all over bronzer and stuff like that as well. And then this other one is the P21 brush. And this one is just kind of a little flat concealer brush, or it'd be something like when I put my foundation on today and after I set my face, I had a little bit of a dark spot right there from a blemish that's like going away. And so I'd grab a little bit of, what I like to do is take a matching kind of powder foundation to touch it up, and I just kind of pat over it like that, and it just kind of covers it up nicely and blends it in with the rest of my face without me having to put on extra foundation, you know. So that's kind of what I would use a brush like this for. I know a lot of people would probably use it for kind of patting on concealer and stuff like that as well, or it'd be good for cream eyeshadows. So this one is the P21 brush right there. It's kind of a little flat paddle brush. I really enjoy Rephr brushes, so a big thank you for sending those over. Anyway, that is everything for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.